1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 only? Oh, 7. 7. Okay, so 1 book each. Plus, okay.
Okay, thank you.
I have asked the INET to pay 294. So free of charge for you.
Okay, thank
Do you
you.
want to order a book? Free of charge.
Free of charge. Percuma.
Because his office is paying. That man's office is paying. His office is paying.
Okay, thank you very much.
After I give you the bill, bawa balik, bagi Wati. Okay, give it pass to Wati.
Sedekah hari ini.
Thank you, madam.
His office.
Thank you. Mr. Rafi.
Tak perlu salinan.
Ha? So Wati bagi cash kan? Then I will settle. I will give her cash bill. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Okay. So this one is actually my copy, teacher's handbook, and then this is for Madam Nordiza, speaking test with DVD. All this is hers. My book, I got my copy. Okay. Nordiza will come down. Okay. Intermediate Teacher's Guide. Okay, second edition. There's a DVD for your class
CD?
audio. CD
Okay.
for the class lecturer. Okay. The book is actually 45 ringgit. You want to buy from outside, it's 45 ringgit. The books that you see that I've been carrying, that one is too thick, too heavy, and it comes in too many separate components. Yeah. Okay. You got sambal. What is the sambal for?
This is Madam Nurliza bring us the breakfast.
Oh. Good.
And we love the sambal. So she
cook.
asked
She
us
cook.
to
Her husband is a very good cook.
Oh. What hope you name?
I hope someday.
Nurliza.
He's the one who cook, but the husband.
Not her husband.
But the husband is a very good cook.
Oh.
The husband cooks.
Nasi lemak.
Mr. Indonesia.
Mr. Nurliza.
Her husband's name Mr. Lokman. Okay. I had to go for an event this morning at KLIA 2. So if you are actually going back taking KLIA 2, find this shop, Agro Bazaar shop. Agro Bazaar. You can taste Malaysian food inside there. You can taste nasi dagang. You can taste what we call laksam. Laksam is a different version than laksa, but it's a traditional East Coast Malay food. And then there's also nasi lemak inside there. So Agro Bazaar is a subsidiary of government company. Rent at KLIA is 30,000 per month. 30,000 Malaysian per month. So 30,000. So in Agro Bazaar in KLIA 2, management of all the shops is by this management, Airport Authority, Berhad. So 40% is allocated for Bumi Putra. At least there is some representation of Bumi participation in business. But if you go to KLCC, all the shops then is controlled by foreigner. So zero participation for Bumi Putra. That's why we feel that actually when the government had set up the whole building, there should have been some allocation for Bumi. So Agro Bazaar is representation of Bumi government. One day they have to make 1,000. If you have 28 days in 1 month, you cannot make 1,000. So a lot of people go in and out. There are also products being sold. So one of the products that is being sold there are actually products being made in Penang. So my husband's job is he takes all the small entrepreneurs, what we call SMEs, small, medium, yes, entrepreneur, give them loan, and then actually we had 200 products, but we only passed 75 products that pass the packaging, that pass all the standards by the agricultural department, only 75. So this morning we launched all the 75 products, put them there. So at least for foreigners to come, you can taste coffee, Musang King, but not the recent one. The one that those who went into the hospital, the 5 people who went into the hospital because they tasted Musang King coffee, white coffee from China. So that one is actually laced with steroid. That's why, luckily they didn't die. That one they put steroid. They felt so weak. Luckily they didn't die. If they had died,
In Penang,
in Penang, 5 were admitted because that coffee is coffee from China. But if you want to taste coffee with durian, go to the Agro Bazaar shop to be safe. Yeah. Okay. So this is our part for society. We do our part for society. So we want them to actually become small, medium business enterprise. Yeah. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Time not wasted. This morning I went for that. I went home, changed, we went to the bookstore, get the books. Paul Eliza is still up down there, level 9, doing what I did yesterday, the speaking. She has I think about 20 more students to go. I finished mine, thank God. Finished mine. Okay. My other half also didn't waste his time. He he went to Putrajaya to meet government department. So at 5, we are going back to Penang. Okay. Next time, you come back. Okay. This one, I have to tell you, during this year after Raya, June, after May, June will be durian season in Balik Pulau Penang. Yes. So you come down to my village. This is the only place where you can find a village. Other places, no village. The Penang is very developed already. You see the books that I was looking at. There was also one more book that I was also looking at. But this book is actually separated components. But this book, so what we say Express, okay, and also it's in color. This one also black and white. So not very attractive. I think color is good. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Actually, I have to apologize. I changed handbags. You know my external drive. This morning function, I took it out. And it's on the table. Ladies' problem. It's not here. I use a different handbag, so I took a different handbag now. Oh my God. So I wanted to do that writing part, but it's also in here. So we take a look at that one. What I want you to do today is this. We take a look at the second part of the writing, expressing opinion in writing task 2. I'll give you a book, don't worry. Here, in this page. You see where we had stopped this one? This was the one that was printed in color for you. Okay, this one we leave it next week, but I want you to take a look at this now. Okay. Okay. Look at page 39. Writing, seeing 2 sides of an argument. Okay. Page 39. Okay. 2 sides of an argument. Okay. Have you had your lunch? That was lunch also. Breakfast until lunch.
Yes. Not the lunch.
Huh? You need to have lunch already.
We did.
You did? Okay, alright. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, for and against essay. Look at that. Okay. Page 38 first. Page 38 first. Okay, so for the writing, look at that. Exam task. So exam focus, this is writing task 2. Okay, look at the introduction. So do you agree or disagree? Do I need to wear that thing? What is this voice? Nak kena pakai ni. Lupa dah. I forgot. Okay. Can you read that? Sing two sides of an argument. As we said the other day, in this world it's either you persuade or be persuaded, right? What's the meaning of persuade? That means persuade or to persuade or to be persuaded. Okay, so you know bahasa actually has a very beautiful concept. Indonesia also has got this PUJUK, pujuk. Pujuk rayu. Right. So if you know the skills of pujuk rayu, you will win an argument. So in English also there are steps actually. When you look at an argument, you know if there is an argument, there's always two sides. Okay, and look at that. Strongly agree, 7 is strongly disagree. If you go into 1 and if you go into 7, okay, that means you strongly disagree. The trick here, after reading your essay, we will change our minds from number 1 and we become number 7. If your writing is so powerful, we will change our minds from number 1 until number 7. Or also if you're a very good speaker, you are able to persuade. If I ask you to give me 3 reasons why should I marry you, and you can give me 3 good reasons why should I marry you, okay? Usually when people ask, what is our best quality? Why should I hire you at the job interview? Why should I take you? So we have to give our best qualities. If you can't change that person's mind, at least move them a bit. So with your writing, you will make them believe whatever that you want to say. So here, task 2 is actually that. So in bahasa, it means pujuk rayu. In writing, it will be it will be persuasion, the art of persuasion. Either you persuade or be persuaded. We have to change people's mind. I think the whole world is about persuading. Am I correct? Yeah. Or if not, we just become followers. We're not going to be leaders. If we don't make our stand, you become followers all the time. You don't make your stand, you don't speak up. Yeah. I think the Malay culture, I don't know about Indonesia, but our students until now, if you ask them, do you have any opinion on this? Everybody will keep quiet. Everybody is afraid to speak up. So time for us to actually tell them, please share your views. Do not be afraid. If you ask a whole class of foreigners, anybody who's got any opinion on this, you got 30 students in the class, all 30 hands will go up. Because they are taught to argue, make their stand. Okay, in Malaysia, I think in the Malay culture, we are very too respectful of our elders, but we don't want our children to answer, of course. Yeah, in Malay, so when my children try and give their opinion, I listen. Yes, if you have got any opinion, please share. I will listen to you. If you are okay, then perhaps we will follow you. Okay, so this is how we train our new generation. Don't be afraid. If they want to speak up, don't tell them, keep quiet, speak up. Yeah. So in writing also, this makes a lot of difference. Yeah. Okay. So don't be afraid. Speak up. Yeah. Now, in the olden days, your parents want to marry you. Do you want to marry this person? No answer means yes. Right. Diam tandanya setuju. Yes. Diam tandanya mahu. So you have to change. You have to speak up. Ask. Okay. You want to marry this person? Answer yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Do you agree with the following opinion? Look at this. You're going to change your minds and you're going to write. All murderers should be sentenced to death. Agree? Strongly agree? Strongly disagree? Yeah, or you can be in the middle. Take 4, neutral. Then next one, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Okay, so this is the points actually. Prison is the best cure for crime. So another main topic there. Eating meat is murder if you are a vegetarian. You're vegetarian. Eating meat is murder. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So discuss your answers with a partner. Provide reasons to support your answer. So we're not going to worry about that. Look at number 2. Seeing two sides of an argument. Okay, so good you have the book. Okay, in order to write good for or against essays, you first need to be able to generate ideas from two opposing points of view. Look at the first opinion, 1A, and identify the statements 1 to 6, either for or against the death penalty. The first one has been done as an example. So look at that. A, yes, murder is wrong, whether it is committed by an individual or by the state. So it's up to you to think about that. 2, death penalty is too soft of an option. For or against? Are you for or against? This book is very good. What? Yeah. Your book is very... Check. Do you have answers at the back? I asked for the one with the answer key. Check. Got answers at the back or not? Should have answers at the back. So, for you to use. You have, right? None? So, look at unit 4. The answers? None. Yes. Writing task. See, is listening. Yes. What page is that?
121.
So easy for you to look at things. Yes. Okay. There you have the writing. Okay. So if you are not sure, you can always go back to that. So in the one in purple, actually that color is not purple. That color is lilac. Right. That's lilac in color. Lilac. Purple is like dark purple. This one is this color, like lavender. It's lilac. 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 Yes, lilac. Lilac, the color. Yeah, okay. See that? I think what you're wearing is lilac. Yeah, right. Also, I think a little bit of lilac there. Right. Okay, so, right. Look at that. Death penalty is too soft of an option. It's up to you actually. This one is up to a person. Okay, capital punishment is far less expensive than a life sentence in prison. Fear of death penalty helps prevent crime. Some murderers ask for the death penalty. Why should we stop them? Even murderers can later regret their actions and change their ways. So actually, what you're supposed to do just now, put in A, for or against. Right. So the topic is what? Death penalty. Actually, in Malaysia, the death penalty in Malaysia is via hanging. But in the US, death penalty is a few ways. Electric chair. What else? Also maybe by injection. And in the Middle Eastern countries, Uh, you should. Oh, you should your. Yeah. In China, yes, they should. Indonesia also. Yeah. So in Malaysia is drug trafficking, death by hanging. It's so scary because they move this person every week. As the time grows nearer, the prisoner is moved from one prison to another. As the time goes by, it gets nearer and nearer to that room. Until in the end, he's just beside the room. Next, tomorrow morning. Very, very scary. Yeah, very scary. But it is carried out in Malaysia. Yeah, death penalty for drug trafficking is carried out. So they stay in the prison for 2 years and then they get moved one room, next room until in the end. So it is actually being carried out. So a lot of people say that this is cruel. Capital punishment is cruel. What is actually capital punishment? Capital punishment is death by hanging, yes. The stroke of the rotan is also considered capital punishment. For rapists, yeah, whack. Okay, 5 strokes of the rotan, that is considered capital punishment. Okay, here, discursive essay. Look at that. So topic just now, when you look at that one, okay, so all murderers should be sentenced to death. Probably you're going to be asked, express your opinion. Okay, and then you have to find 3 main points. And then, for example, another topic, prison is the best cure for crime. So you have to think about 3 main points. So everything must be presented from both sides, yeah, 2 sides of the argument. Okay, right. So in the exam, look at that box, yellow box, writing task 2. What I want you to do for me today is very simple. I don't want you to write the whole essay. I want you to write just the introduction. Very important. If your introduction is boring, the whole essay is not going to be interesting. We just want to write the introduction. Okay, right. Look at that one. Writing task 2 is always a discursive essay question where you are given a point of view and argument. That yellow box there on page 38. The essay question is very often worded, do you agree or disagree, or to what extent do you agree or disagree? You can approach these questions in 2 ways. You can agree or disagree, or you can agree and disagree. You see how many things there, what you can do. So one, you can approach this question in 2 ways. You can agree or disagree, or you can do both, agree and disagree. First, you can say, I don't like it. Then you can say, yes, I like it. And then you can also say both. Yes, I like it and I don't like it. So it depends what you want to say. And there is a format. So for and against essays look more or less equally at both sides of the argument and do not include the writer's personal opinion until the conclusion. So for questions that ask you to discuss advantages and disadvantages of something, you must use for and against approach. Okay, you must write at least 250 words. Task 1 last time was just 150. This is 250. So task 2 essay assessed on the following criteria. Task response, how well you answer the question, that means content and ideas. Coherence and cohesion, how your essay is organized, how the different parts are connected. Lexical resource, have you used an appropriate range of vocabulary? And then grammatical range and accuracy, how you are marked. Have you used range of grammatical structures and have they been used, and have these been used accurately? Okay, approaching the question, page 39. Okay, so read the sample question below. With a partner, ask and answer and brainstorm questions for each of the keywords. Okay, what is the question? Prison is not a cure for crime. Do you agree with this topic? What is the purpose of prison? Okay, prison is a cure for crime. What do you think? Okay, what do you think? Prison is a cure for crime. Have you visited a prison before? Have you visited any prison? No, right? Okay, but we don't want to be there. So prison is a cure for crime. Do you think after committing a crime, after being sent to prison, this person comes out and he's already cured? What do you think? Comes out and it becomes even worse. What is the purpose of prison? What is meant by cure for crime? Why might prison not be a cure for crime? And what are typical prison sentences in your country? Why might it be good idea to reduce prison sentence? Okay, look at that one. Prison is not a cure for crime. So to reduce crime in the long term, courts should significantly reduce prison sentences and focus on education and community work to help criminals not to re-offend. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? Look at that one. What should criminals learn about in prison? What type of community work is suitable for criminals? Should all criminals be able to do community work? Why might prisoners commit crimes again? How can we stop prisoners from re-offending? Okay, so your essay should include views for and against, like two people having an argument. Read the arguments spoken by the woman in favor of the question, then match the arguments 1 to 4 with the keywords A and D. Can we try this together? Can we read the first one? In prison, can we read together? In prison, people find out from and may use that knowledge when they are released. So which one does it match? In prison, people find out how to commit crimes from other prisoners and may use that knowledge when they are released. Haha. Is it education? Yeah, I think so. Education from other prisoners.
To become skillful, yes.
They become even worse. They become even worse. That's why I think when you learn, when you talk to a lot of people, you will learn a lot of things. Yeah. I learned this morning from this guy, this agriculture director. When you plant durian, let's say for example, there was one guy from China who came and he is planting 29,000 acres of musang king. But they tell him, if you plant only musang king, only one species, it will not bear fruit. You have to plant musang king and also another species of durian also, but maybe you can plant musang king and the other one is let's say D24. So only then it will cross pollinate and the fruit will the tree will flower. But if you plant only one species, it will not flower. So I learned that is knowledge to me also. So this guy, so because thank God he consulted the agricultural officers, so he is also planting different types of durian. Yeah. In Malaysia, it is prohibited for Malaysians to export durians as a whole. Thailand, yes, they can export durian as a whole, but Malaysians cannot export durian as a whole. They can only export products of durian. Yeah. So it went viral. One whole consignment of durians was rejected from China. It is not the durians from Malaysia. That is the durians from Thailand that was rejected. Okay, when it got to China, I don't know what was the reason. Be careful. You want to eat durians from Malaysia, because durians from Malaysia is actually not picked before it is ripe. It will fall to the ground. Durians in Thailand is picked before it is ripe, and then they use kind of chemical to ripen the fruit. They put their dates. This consignment can be eaten, blah blah blah. What date? Same thing with mangoes. So they put carbide. You call it? Carbide. Yeah, we call it carbide in English. So that's why the fruits ripen. And then it is not as sweet as the ones in Malaysia. So I think there's chemical inside. Okay, so number 1 cannot be education. It will be re-offend, right? Okay, 2, helping old people, cleaning the streets is useful. Yes, community work. Do you have that in Indonesia? Prisoners go and do community work? Yes.
Before they finish the time and prisoner.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, rehabilitation.
They go out and they do community work.
1 month before.
1 month.
3 months before
Being released.
they must go to society, like work at
Some place.
and after that in the evening go back to the prison.
But here, community work means part of the sentence is to put in, let's say, 700 hours of community work.
Outside or inside?
Outside of prison. Let's say go and clean people's home. Part of the sentence. This is what is meant by community work. In Malaysia, it is not done. But in the US, yes, they do community work. Let's say you get a prison sentence. Your prison sentence is only for 1 year, and then the rest is 700 hours of community work. So you have to clock in the 700 hours of community service. Maybe you go and clean people's home. You go and clean the public toilets. So that is community work. But in Malaysia, it is not done also. Maybe perhaps it's very difficult to control. We only have, they wear what you call a bangle. They cannot cross this state. They have to stay in one state. If they cross, the computer will monitor. So that one is done. That one is maybe not so heavy punishment. They cannot go outside of the state. They are being I don't know what's the word to use here. Kept inside one state. Cannot cross. That one. Okay, look at this one. People need to learn skills inside prison so they can be prepared for the outside world. Yes, that is education. Okay, right. This one is okay, right? Go inside prison and you learn how to sew clothes, how to mend the shoes, everything. So prisons are overcrowded and expensive. If we cut prison sentences, we can cut overcrowding and save money. Yes, reduce sentences. Okay, right. So with a partner, think of what the man might say to counter each of these 4 arguments. Okay, when you look at an essay topic, okay, look at this. Okay, organizing the essay. Look at this. The model student essay. So not easy to write. How many words there? 250 words. Read the model student essay below. I don't want you to write the whole essay. Today we just want to write introduction. Okay, look at that. Read. Okay, so essay is divided into 4 sections. Introduction, first half of the main body, second half of main body, and conclusion. Each section is represented by a separate paragraph, A to D. What is the function of each paragraph? Label paragraph 1 to 4. Okay, it lists and support arguments against the question. Number 1 then, which one? There are different opinions on the best way to reduce crime. The traditional solution is to be hard on criminals and put them in prison for a very long time. Okay, I'm competing with what is going on. So talk. Okay, I can hear that voice. Okay, that man's voice. Okay, number 1, there are many different opinions on the best way to reduce crime. The traditional solution is to be hard on criminals and put them in prison for a very long time. An opposing view is expressed by people with more modern ideas. They think that education and community work are the long-term solutions to cutting crime. So who is right? The traditionalists or modernists? Okay, traditionalists say put them in prison. Modernists say education and community work. So B, C, D actually are the points. This one we can read afterwards. But what I want you to do is this. Okay, look at this. The essay there. I only want you to write for me introduction. Okay, exam strategy. Okay, in order to reduce crime, we need to attack the causes of crime such as poverty and lack of educational opportunities. It is not enough to simply have more police on the street and put people into prison. To what extent do you agree with this opinion? Very, very uninteresting topic. I give you another one. I was looking at this book yesterday. You want to do that topic? Very boring topic. Okay, this topic, the exam question. Look at the practice test. There's one question. I want you to write introduction. Look at the practice test. One. Okay. Page 108. Okay. More us. Topic about crime is not interesting. 108. So we talked about changing jobs, yeah? Right, about the following topic. These days, it is neither possible nor desirable for most people to stay in the same job throughout their working lives. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? Remember, the pattern is, if you take a look at page 40, okay, okay, people in, look at that, look at B and look at C and look at D. Is this person in favor of the topic? Is he both, or is he for or against, or is he discussing both? Get that? B, if you go back to page 40, before you want to do that one, you have to go back to page 40. People in favor of reducing prison sentences often argue, I'm looking at page 40, prison should not simply be places of punishment. In traditional prisons, people learn a lot about crime. So when we leave prison, they will commit more crimes. Education, however, gives people the skill to get a job when they leave prison, which means that they will probably not re-offend. Part-time work, experience in the community is very helpful. Okay, it is a step back into everyday life in society. People can be in prison, but they can also feel they are doing useful work. Okay. C, on the other hand, some people argue so long prison sentences are right because it does what? Punishment should fit the crime. Okay, they also believe in reducing prison sentences significantly reduces people's fear of prison, and consequently people will commit more crimes. People will not be frightened of going to prison, just like a university with learning and work experience opportunities. In short, I agree education and community work can have an important role in helping reduce crime, but there should be strict controls on this type of community work prisoners can do. It is important to understand that some people are a real danger to society and need to stay in prison for a long time. So in this essay, you can see that the writer is discussing both. Okay, agree and disagree. You can do this. You can disagree all the way. Okay, you can agree all the way, and you can do both. So this is what I mean by the three patterns. Okay, you are not restricted to only discussing for, or you're not restricted to only discussing against. You can do both. Okay, and then lastly, only make your stand. Lastly, here the person make the stand. Okay, okay, both education community, but must understand that if you, okay, there's a real danger to society and there's a need to stay in prison for a long time. Okay, so this one, Look at that one. Okay, the B there. Okay, stating your personal opinion. I think you can read that on your own. Now, okay, as I said on page 41, that topic is not interesting. Go to page 108. More interesting topic. Okay. Okay. These days, it is neither possible nor desirable for most people to stay in the same job throughout their working lives. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? You will get this type of essays. So, firstly, you must think whether you agree or disagree, or you are both. Okay. Make your stand. And then you have to do some kind of a plan. Okay, points 1, 2, points 1, 2, conclusion, and then start your introduction. Introduction, how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5. Okay, so today I just want you to write introduction. Very important to write an interesting introduction. I do not want you to write introduction with this statement, nowadays. We are allergic to that word, nowadays. Very often when I ask students to write for this, they will write nowadays. First line. So I say I'm allergic to that word, nowadays. Come up with a very interesting way of expressing this. Okay. We are generation Y is the ones who actually jump from. We are what generation? What year were you born in? There is this generation. Like for me, I am of this generation, baby boomer generation.
I'm generation X.
X. Yeah.
Oh, it's Y.
You are.
X. She would be generation Y. Indah would be Y generation.
Now
Z generation.
Why am I actually called the baby boomer generation? I think Mr. Yusman and I, we belong to the baby boomer generation. Why are we called the baby boomer generation? Yeah, the 1960s. Why are we called the baby boomer generation? You're young. Mr. Mursal, you're young.
generasi
X now. X 17.
Mr. Masun, what generation? Maybe X, because he's young, right? You're not even 50 yet, right? You're young. So if you're already 50, you belong to the baby boomer generation. I don't know about this man. He looks young.
Yeah.
Which generation? I don't think X generation. Secret. What is the reason why are we called the baby boomer generation? So you have baby boomer generation, you have X generation, Y generation, and perhaps your children would be the Z generation. Z generation, they wake up, internet is already in the room. Internet is like automatic connection. For us, we have to struggle. Handphones for us last time was like that big. The Atur, I don't know what handphone was that. You throw that handphone to a person, the person will die. So heavy. So heavy, yeah. Okay? Only now, right, you see handphones, we have to learn technology. We don't know technology. Why are we called the baby boomer generation? What's the reason?
War is stopped and then baby born.
Yes, precisely. The war happened in 1945 to about 1948, and after that, no more babies, right? So people born, and then people stop having babies. So only in the 1960s, 1950s, people start having babies again. So why we are called the baby boomer generation. But we set the platform for generation Y. We are the ones who work very hard. We set the platform for our children. Yeah, you would fall into the generation of Generation X. Why is it called the Generation X? So if you Google, there are characteristics generation. Yeah, you can read that over the weekend. Okay, so who would actually be jumping from one job to another?
Why?
There's the Y generation.
Why is it?
No loyalty to
Yes.
company. These days, it is neither possible nor desirable for most people to stay in the same job throughout their working lives. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? That's why you need your newspapers. You read your newspapers. Yes. You read your newspapers. Okay. You have to read your newspapers. Okay. Who actually?
Now is phone.
What does it say?
One child suicide.
Yeah.
Just
Because of the phone.
phone. Yes.
Okay. So this is so sad. So sad. Accusation over just a handphone. Okay. Right. You take a look at this. The middle section. Jobs. People look for jobs. Okay. In the middle section. Okay. When I talk to my students, every 5 years they change jobs. As I tell you, they tell me every 5 years they try and look for a new job. Jump. I've met my ex students now, all very successful. Every 5 years, change. You get a better offer, they go. Okay, they don't like the place, they just go. So they don't take the challenge. So we have this saying also in English: a rolling stone gathers no moss. What does it mean? What is a moss? A rolling stone, that means a stone that is actually, it moves. So there is no moss, M-O-S-S. A rolling stone gathers no moss. If you stay at one place, you will actually collect the moss. Okay, yeah. So loyalty to a company is very, very important. So it says it is not possible nor desirable for most people to stay in the same job throughout their working lives. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? In order to do this, you need to have background knowledge. Take a look at another test. That's just test 1. Okay. Take a look at another test. Page 118. Writing task 2. Page 118, writing task 2. People shouldn't take as much interest as they do in the lives of celebrities and the gossip surrounding them. Do you agree or disagree? I'm looking at page 118. That's another question. Okay. People shouldn't take as much interest as they do in the lives of celebrities and the gossip surrounding them. Do you agree or disagree? That's another question. Task 2. Okay. So the topics, it depends. If you are lucky, you get something that you like. So okay, people shouldn't take as much interest as they do in the lives of celebrities and the gossip surrounding them. Do you agree or disagree? Easier topic. Okay, as versus this one is very difficult. In order to reduce crime, that one is difficult.
Every
Okay,
morning we can watch TV.
which one?
It's the gossip, celebrities gossip.
Yeah, that's why. Is there a program?
Yeah, it's a renting, writing.
What's the name of the program?
Select. Insert.
So many.
So many television.
So do you agree or disagree? That
TV have the sets.
The woman like watch.
watch the celebrities gossip.
Is that true, Rezki? Do the ladies like watching?
Yeah.
Are they just assuming? No, it's true. It's true.
Rizky also.
She imitate this like Sarini.
Like whom?
Sarini. Sarini is often muncul tuh. Often in the
Limelight.
infotainment.
You follow.
He is an
No.
actress
Actress.
Indonesia from Malaysia.
So
Program.
there's so many programs. I think in Malaysia we have. Do we have celebrity the programs like what? Melody. Okay, Melody talks about gossiping lives of celebrities. What else? What else? We don't really follow. But I think there's quite a few programs, right? Lives of celebrities. Oh, yeah, when the one program that goes into the celebrities' home. Yeah. It goes into their homes, shows what do they like, what are their dislikes. And they also want to show off their homes.
Also the kids,
The children.
the children play, they show off the children activity.
Too much. Yeah. So I think this is an easier essay to follow. I want you to write this one on this. Introduction. It's not easy to write this 40 minutes. You see, when you do the IELTS test, it's not everything done in one day. Probably it will be 2 days. 1 day for speaking and listening, another day for reading and writing. So you'll be attending tests for 2 days, and then 1 more day for perhaps So I think 2 days. Speaking goes together with listening, and then writing goes together with the reading. So you cannot do it in 1 day. You take time. So look at this: writing task 1, writing task 2. 20 minutes for task 1. Writing task 2 is 40 minutes, but 1 hour on that. And then, yeah. So this one, the whole test is, look at that. They tell you the time. I think you can handle reading. The writing is going to be quite a challenge. It will be a challenge to do the writing. Okay, we do this one, writing. I don't want the whole essay. I just want introduction only. And then you have to do it in paragraphs. So people shouldn't take as much interest as they do in the lives of celebrities and the gossip surrounding them. Will you agree or disagree? Or you say that yes, people should take interest in the lives of celebrities. Or you don't agree. Okay? They are selling things, a lot of things. They are selling their own brands. And if you say followers, what? They follow Twitter. No. Huh?
From easy.
What? He's got followers, huh? Which actor has got the most following in Malaysia?
The most
You know.
Maybe Siti Nurhaliza.
I don't think so.
Maybe Siti Nurhaliza. You know what? Did I tell you what is going to happen in the next election? Siti Nurhaliza will probably go up against Datuk Najib in Malaysia. It will happen. Election, you wait until election, maybe election, if election does not happen until June, Parliament will automatically be dissolved because it's only until June. If Datuk Najib doesn't call for dissolve of Parliament, if he waits until June Parliament will automatically be dissolved. So he has to call election before. And when the election happens, somebody has to go up against him, and they are predicting Datuk Siti Nurhaliza will go up against Datuk Najib because this is a celebrity. Because the husband, Datuk K, is, I said, the right-hand man to Tun M. So they are indebted to Tun M because of their success. During Tun M, they invested in the finance. So he is so close to Tun Probably you
Is ongoing parliament.
Parliament, but Tun M will probably find a safe place to contest. Safe place means,
Is it okay on the road?
huh?
Is it okay for the record?
For the recording,
Never mind.
you can delete.
I need to
But
see
what
this.
it's okay, fine, never mind, no problem.
Oh, okay. I need to see the duration this.
Politics part of the
Yes.
So I have nothing against them, but actually Tun M has to find a safe place to contest. So when you become a celebrity and if you become a celebrity, you have to sacrifice. People will follow all your movement. Yeah. So here it says, is it okay or not? Should we take an interest as they do in the lives? Should we follow them or not?
No.
Gossip around them. You have to give reasons. Do you agree, disagree? Or you can take both. See the pattern here today or not? Today I want you to see the pattern that it is not only for and not only all against, but you can be both also. You can do 50-50 also, as in the model of the essay. First paragraph, introduction. Second paragraph, all for. Third paragraph, against. And then in conclusion, only again you make your stand. Okay. So you have to find reasons. Should we follow or should we not follow? You have to ask yourself. Okay? Ask yourself whether you think which one is stronger inside you. And then you have to use argument. You cannot do this and start writing straight away. You must plan first. What is my first main point? I must see the structure here. Second main point, third main point. So if you have that, then we can elaborate. Okay, main point 1, okay, and then you explain in detail. Then you have an example. It is quite difficult to do this. If you do not practice, you will not be able to write. When it comes to the real exam, writing is the most important. Okay? If you get something like this, so I want you to start off now. We got 1 more hour. I want you to end the class today with the production. At least introduction and skeletal framework. What are your main points to do this? Okay, we do this. Take out an empty piece of paper. Start with the skeletal framework. Are you for or are you against? Ask yourself. And if you are for, give me 3 main points. If you are against, give me 3 main points. I want you to see the 3 main points. And then you are able to elaborate. 1, 2, example. 1, 2, example. That is format of a paragraph. Okay? It's not easy to write this. And then introduction must be interesting. Introduction must be interesting. There's a sample.
Sample introduction.
Sample introduction. But I will give you on Monday a sample essay. Okay. It's an interesting sample essay. Okay? There is a sample essay that is given. What page is that? Practice test, sample essay. But I want you to look at that. I want you to write your own. Okay? Can you take out a piece of paper? Firstly, give me 3 main points. Are you for or are you against? Think of that topic, page 118. It's not that obat crime is so hard. But sometimes you see that if you follow celebrity, are there positive points in following celebrities? There are, right? I was watching celebrity the day before yesterday. How the celebrity was a singer and she was actually into very revealing clothes, and then suddenly then she became just total opposite. She saw the wordings in the club. She saw the word Allah repeated there. So that sort of made the change. So I'm following this. I don't know.
I think different program, the celebrity program in Malaysia and Indonesia. It's very different. Yes, because in Indonesia we just can see that they are rich and they can go anywhere like this. So
Very rich and famous, very different
very
lifestyle.
different
Have more
lifestyle.
Lamborghini.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Like
very
this.
rich, they're
Yes.
filthy rich.
Yeah,
That means they are
after-
filthy rich.
After they are be popular,
Ah.
and then they are going to the politics and be a member of parliament.
I see. Oh, they have the money then.
Yes.
Okay.
And the party is like very popular celebrities.
Because it adds flavor to the party. So,
And in the parliament, just sleep.
the parliament is sleep, so celebrity doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
it. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Many
Different.
parliaments come from
celebrities. Like, give me an example.
Just so we
Anang
Oh,
Anang
Anang is in politics.
Yeah.
Yes, now in parliament.
Wow.
and
Komar is a part of humorist.
What is the name?
Komar.
Komar.
Haji Komar.
Haji Komar.
Komar.
Haji Komar.
Yes,
Komar.
Yes, a humorist.
Humorist.
So
Yes.
you can.
But he became a very successful politician. No,
So the parliament will become very funny
because of his,
because of you.
his humor.
Ya, Eko Prasetyo,
Eka Mati ya.
Desi Ratnasari.
Do you think he is doing a good job? Do you think he is doing a good job?
No.
Then I think you should run for.
Kami.
The party just won, then the artist can go to parliament and get the winning vote.
That's it.
That's it.
Just for popularity vote.
Yes.
Not so much for the content that they bring.
Right.
So I think they should be the.
So the celebrities channel in Indonesia, might be very opposite than
I think so.
Malaysia.
Yeah, surely. Surely. Because I think in Malaysia there are celebrities, but firstly, if you want to vote, you take a look at that person's qualification. Am I right? So we don't actually vote for his popularity. These days, every singer has become a politician.
Jadi,
Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
Malaysia, not really. We don't really see.
yang dekat Putrajaya ada gitu.
Putrajaya, singer.
Dan kat sini ada pelakon. Politician kan dia.
Siapa? But not so much, not so
Not so
much.
much.
Like, no, not
Uh,
very strong influence.
when the parliament recess, yeah, the parliament should go to the voters and make some program. But for parliament background from artists, there is no program for voters in the recess time.
So it's a waste.
Yes.
Also local leaders.
Now Indonesian Jambi ya, Governor of Jambi Jumi Zola is an
artist.
artist. Yes, now
Investasi apa loh? Jadi
Oh, yang paling kota.
already tersangka itu apa ya?
So the most important thing actually is the education of the people. People who are very educated will not go into this kind of politicians, right?
Yeah.
They will look for someone who is actually very educated. It is very important that as a politician you must have education, good background in education.
because Indonesia many people in rural.
In the rural areas.
Yes, and they just for
Your population is how many now? How many million?
250.
250 million.
Yes, the voters around 180 lah ya.
So here in Malaysia, our population is only 28 million.
28
million.
I think the same as Jakarta at
Just in Jakarta alone.
Jakarta and the surrounding
cities.
in siang itu
At noon.
at noon Jakarta around 70 million ya 70 lah 17 million but at night around 10 lah 10
So at least it reduces
because
traffic.
some
They
people
move
go
up.
move
They move
out
up,
from
yeah.
Jakarta.
Yeah, we call it Jabodetabek. Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Bekasi, Tangerang, Jabodetabek.
So they move.
Yeah.
Yes,
As a satellite cities.
some people go to Jakarta and work there.
And they move out at night.
Yes.
Very, very different situation.
So we need 2.5 or 3 hours.
Based on the road.
Yes,
Yeah.
I go to my work around 30 kilometers within 3 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
3 kilometers, 3 hours. Oh no, that's a waste of
30
time.
30
30 kilometers, 3 hours.
Yes.
If we using by our car.
So you take the public transport.
No, it's
No.
bicycle.
How do you go to work?
Driving.
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 A lot of time. 30 kilometers, 3 hours is a lot of time.
No problem.
That's too much time wasted on the road.
Yeah, too much time on the road.
Probably here, if you talk about 30 kilometers, it's from Shah Alam to
Always
KL. That's about half an hour.
1 hour.
Half an hour only for us. Half an hour.
Half an hour.
30
Oh.
minutes. 30 minutes.
At night, you can go from Jakarta to your home.
Easier.
Maybe, yeah.
Still to
You're based in Jakarta.
You go home at night. From Jakarta to your house. In
Jakarta night morning and evening is the same because now in Jakarta still under construction elevated highway,
Highways.
under construction LRT, under construction MRT in the same way.
It's a very good.
The truck at the night is like you see film convoy. Yeah.
It doesn't move.
There are many truck. The all road is truck, container and others at night. So even
The
they are
traffic congestion is really bad. No wonder they have suggestions to move, right? What capital?
yes.
Okay, how are we going to write this? 3 main points. The
Yes.
most difficult to teach actually is writing. Any language lecturer, for the most difficult part to tackle is actually writing. But this can be easy. Number one, if you know how to write an interesting introduction, and then if you already plan. If you don't plan your writing, the essay will go haywire. There won't be any method. So first thing, write down 3 main points. You like this idea or not? If you don't like it, am I for or am I against? If you are for, 1, 2, 3. If you don't like it, 1, 2, 3. 3 main points. Then only you are able to write. Okay, if you say that we shouldn't take as much interest as in the lives of celebrities and the gossip surrounding them. Why? 1, 2, 3. Okay. For me, I don't know about Indonesians, but as a Malaysian, I do not take I don't follow the lives of celebrities because I think they are into drugs. Am I right or not?
Yes.
What's your name? What's your name?
Hello.
Huh?
Yes, sorry.
We don't follow our celebrities' lives because number one, they are so much into drugs.
Ah, yeah.
The abuse of drugs. It is so, what we say, so prevalent. You can see that. Yeah. Most of them are. We don't follow the lives of, let's say, an singing sensation because they go into that line. They go into that line. They go into.
Energized.
Huh? Yeah. When they want to go on stage, they take drugs to make them.
Confident.
Yes, confident, full of energy. So most of them are actually drug abusers. So as for me, I do not know what for others, but it is, we can see that most of them are into. They shouldn't be made into role models because most of them are actually into drugs. Okay. I don't know what else. Why is it the lives of celebrities?
Easy to get rich.
Huh? What?
Easy to get rich.
Some of them is just a show, it's just a front. It's just a front, yeah. So but their real lives, the surety of them being having a good life is they're not good role models to follow because their lives are they're married and then the next thing they're divorced, they're married and then they're divorced. Married and they divorce, so it's nothing already. And being married to one person is not the way of life for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing. So, but I have seen. But on the other hand, we have seen celebrities who are actually rich, good role models because they are entrepreneurs, like Siti Nurhaliza, for example. She is a very
Maybe
good.
just one from 100 or
One from
1,000.
one out of
1,000.
1 out of 1,000.
One per meal.
1 out of 100. She is a very good businesswoman, a very good business entrepreneur. Her own Simplicity product is doing very well. So she's a millionaire.
How many Malaysians have the TV station?
How many Malaysians have TV station? Malaysians owning TV station. TV 1 is government. RTM 1 is government. RTM 2 is also government owned. TV 3 is like a station that is also pro-government. So they are mostly for government as well. NTV 7 was privately owned. But this guy, Country Effendi, sold the TV station to I think a group of business people. So Astro is the world's domain. So now
I think we have the more plan
what?
than Malaysian television right now in Indonesia.
10.
So just why promoting until midnight we can watch the music.
That's why you have more celebrities. I
And
see.
then they can more money from the television.
Yeah, money from television. There is one TV station I think which is good, TV Al Hijrah. TV Al Hijrah. That is a privately owned station. More, I think it is owned by Malaysian corporate owners. So they pool, and this is the more modern, intelligent Muslims. So this is TV Al Hijrah. So it is more control. But we are not so. But we don't really see lives of celebrities because there is just 1 or 2 programs, not entire TV station. Maybe the exposure is different. But I would say Siti Nurhaliza is a very good business entrepreneur because there's a hotel that she owns. She owns a hotel. several homestay. So these are people who are into business. You want to write? Or you don't have the ideas to write? Well, this topic is not interesting. This topic is not interesting. Are you going anywhere this weekend?
In Saturday we plan to play badminton in UIT.
Badminton?
Yes, with Pak Solihin.
Weh.
Pak Solihin and Jogja is badminton player.
You have the badminton racket and everything?
Yes,
Just borrow my friend. Mas Asun.
Huh?
in Sunday we plan go to again to
That'll be genting again.
factory outlet.
Oh, you're going
Facial,
again?
facial,
Yes.
facial.
Just
For shopping.
For shopping. For just sightseeing. Because yesterday.
Oh, that day was the shopping now sightseeing.
Yeah, because that day we had no enough time to sightseeing at the factory outlet. Yes, we already booked a van more cheaper than last week.
Oh, really? How much?
Yes, just for 100.
So you divide by 50
Yes, because last week around 40.
40
80.
Yeah,
50 or 80? 80. 480.
So cheaper by about 80 ringgit here. That's a
Yes.
good deal.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to shop again? No.
I don't know.
Actually, still have much money.
No, when I told to my wife that I put this watch.
She's excited.
Yeah. Oh, so cheap. So what kind of
Other items.
item for me? I don't find any item for you. So when you go to the
Picture, yeah. FaceTime. You like this, you like this. Okay. Bring your wife over next time.
next time, maybe I call you when I bring my wife.
Please.
Give the wife and give the credit card.
Huh?
And then give the credit card.
Ask me. Lots of places also in KL. But you found that factory outlet cheap.
Very cheap.
I have never been there, surprisingly.
Credit item,
I've been to
yeah.
Genting, but I've never been to that factory outlet. I will go. For me to drive is okay. I can drive. Just drive. Huh? Please no, not tomorrow because I'm going back. to Penang. So,
We don't have the international license. Can we drive by?
anything happens, you are responsible. You are responsible.
Is it international license from Indonesia allowed in Malaysia?
Yes.
Anything international.
Okay.
Anything that says international, you can drive. Not you cannot drive. So actually, you must get that international.
We can get the international driving license in Indonesia.
Maybe much better lah ya.
Yeah.
Get in Indonesia rather than in Malaysia.
It's easier for you.
It's easier.
Easier for you. International license, I got, but when I went to Melbourne, I just didn't dare drive.
That's different.
No, it's not different, it's the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not left hand drive, it's still right hand drive. It's the same. It's not, nothing will change. My brother-in-law, when he drives, he drives very slowly. My sister says, can I drive? So we drove at the along the shore outside of the city. So very short drive. problem, you can drive. But in Singapore, I don't dare drive. In Singapore, because the roads are like, oh my god, this place is like you cannot enter, this zone you cannot enter. So too many restrictions.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that one. I don't drive. I don't dare. Just take the public transport. But I have my niece. She drives in Singapore. She's very brave. She understands the system. So I don't understand the zone. So I can drive. But I think it's better you take your international license. You feel it's a waste of money paying Uber. To rent a car in Malaysia is very easy. There's so many places to rent a car. You're confident enough. Okay, I think you're tired already.
That's because of it.
Saturated.
Fine.
Saturated already.
Thanks God it's Friday.
Study hectic.
Second week fast, very fast. Next week, third week already.
Yes.
Our plan is to do this. The fourth week, we want to give you the real IELTS test. So it's going to take a few days to register. Okay? Yeah. That's why I don't know what is the requirement, but after we mark, we have to give all the marks, everything to IPSIS.
Yes.
See where is your level. So maybe 2 more weeks from now, we continue with the grammar, the writing, time to do, and then we have to do speaking. So 4th week, we do the test so that we have enough time to mark and produce the results and give it back to you.
We must register a student to IPSIS at 23rd
23rd of
February. So we must
get the
the
results
result.
before.
Yes, before that.
So 4th week.
Because
So next week, 1 more week,
We hope before 23.
IPSIS did not put a cut-off point. They just want to see whether you have gone through the course or not. And then they, your friend who got 470, I'm very surprised IPSIS accepted because the level is actually
Not
500.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
I think if this is no, the person must go to I think like Asla bridging pattern English. But another.
How many months do they have to attend a bridging course?
Around 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months?
Yes.
We are searching.
Yeah. No, I don't think you have problems. You're okay. When I look at your work, it's just the writing that is a problem. Just a little bit more polishing up with the writing. You should be able to do it because if you're reading, yeah, you can handle it. Your level is already intermediate level. Just to push it a little bit more
Yes.
to upper intermediate and just to orient you with the strategies of IELTS. Yeah. Because you have to read all your international journals, international work. I'm not that worried of your goals.
Because we already buy flight from KL to Jakarta or Jogja at 24th February.
24.
Yes, so we must.
Everybody's looked at way back 24.
Yes. So we must ensure that in 23rd February we already
Get the
get
results.
the student member card.
Registration.
After we go to IPSIS to registration as student, so we must make student card at
When
level
is it going to IPSIS?
23rd.
23rd of February. That's 1 day for them to process, no? I don't think they can do 1 day processing. 24th you going back.
Yes.
23rd go to IPSIS.
Yes.
That means IPSIS wants the result of this course
Before that.
a week before. Okay, I will talk to Honorable Rizal. We must get some tests.
Yeah.
Next week is 3rd week, 1 more week of study, and then the 4th week we do the test. Okay? Alright. IPSIS requirement you must get.
I don't know. We don't know.
Did they specify when?
We don't know. We just they just ask to our group to attend this
The
speaking
training
English.
course
Yes.
is necessary.
We don't know what pen we must achieve. We don't know.
Okay. And we must ensure that you get band 6 and above. Okay. We must, Condoleezza and I must ensure that you make band 6.
If we have a time 2 days for examination, maybe around 19 until 21st.
Yeah, I think we set.
19 until 21st.
I think we set. 19th.
And the fourth week.
Until 19,
So today's the second,
after the 4
so-
days already 4 weeks.
So is the 19th or the 20th?
Yeah,
2 days to mark.
21.
I think we can do the written test on the 19th.
Or 16.
19th is on Monday. 19th, 19.
19.
20th you do your speaking test. Okay, then I can get the results. It will take me about 2 days to mark. So you said you must go back to Friday. You said go back to on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
We go back to Jakarta on Saturday.
Oh,
Saturday,
Yes.
24th.
Yeah,
Saturday,
24th.
You had already booked.
Yes, already buy.
Oh.
Book. Already buy.
Whatever happens, come what may, you are already leaving.
Yes. So we must ensure to get registration number and get the student number at level 6.
So,
have
my
been saying
is
for
this
some
get
years.
IPSIS process in 1 day?
I don't know because the academic staff told us that we go to EPSIS at 23rd for registration. After that, we go to the level 6 to get the student card.
That can be done in 1 day.
Yeah,
Then you better consult the office.
maybe so.
My worry is that
yesterday-
everything be done in 1 day.
Already, that's
We can get the results out for this course 19, 20th, test done.
So today's is what about today? The 21 and 22nd.
So
The result is 20.
so we have to give you more time to actually
Okay.
go to the office. I'm afraid that if you don't have the student card, you cannot fly.
we can fly, but
As
in
tourists.
Indonesia, we still thinking about as we are a student UITM
Or not.
or not, like this.
Cannot be 1 day of processing.
So we
Today-
go to
we have to discuss with Bu Anissa.
Yeah. but
I didn't know that you're actually going back.
the poin yang paling penting itu the important thing is the result
The
of
result.
the English
Yeah,
teaching
but
because
before you put visa and
then-
come and discuss.
yesterday I told to
She knows.
yeah, she already knows. And then who Madam Nurisa already told me that the week on the 4th week Madam Nurisa will take speaking exam for us for 1 by 1 to
She says she wants to do it
yeah.
on the 19th. No,
No, practice. Just practice.
practice that week. Next week.
Yeah.
That week.
Okay.
And of course,
I have to give you practice test
Yeah.
and also writing
Uh-huh.
next week. Then we do the formal test on the 19th. My part
This
is
festival is
writing.
1920 for the examination.
Okay, 19 and 20th. Okay, we set. Then we have to speed things up, mark everything. By the 21st, give you the result. Then you have to do the process. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
If we get the result here, we can go to the academic staff and I think can arrange to go to IPSIS.
Marking, I cannot do it in 1 day. It's 2 days. 2 days. You have to give it time. 19, 20th. 19 you finish. 20th I have to sit down. Then you do your speaking test and Condoleezza I mark.
depend on the quality of writing.
Yeah, you
the
do.
quality what? The tulisan.
Next week we polish you on the thing.
Right. You write on the
Capital and
writing.
non-capital.
Yeah, spelling.
Spelling.
I think task 1 you can do it. Task 2 not yet.
That's the
Task 2.
Or you can make a result, just look at me.
Look at us only.
Only
Yesterday Bruno Reza said that
proof of
he can give us mark
Daily.
based on
Daily conversation. They mark us.
impressionistic marking.
No, they give us exam.
Writing is going to be different. Writing
Yes.
cannot be based on daily communication. You might be somebody who is so fluent in spoken English, but your writing is entirely different.
Yeah. Yes, that's
The
right.
person might be just the quietest in class, but his writing has got
Yes.
a lot of points. My handwriting, make sure.
Writing
It's very the most difficult for us. Writing.
And writing.
The most difficult because
The most difficult to us is changing our typing models.
I didn't ask you to change, I'm just asking you to write in the proper manner. I didn't ask you to change the way you write, but I'm asking you to write so that I can understand. If I cannot understand, that means something is not right with the writing. Maybe
Aku sah.
can others understand your handwriting?
Let's get more better. I like more
clear.
Yeah, no, I think step by step.
Step by step.
Let's take time.
What result is coming in? I ask him to come in.
Dino is the best
Writers.
writers.
Maybe a woman's handwriting.
Yeah, agree.
Woman's handwriting.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good.
Switch on. Tired then. Frequent breakdowns in communication. Like when you write, for me that day I gave you 7 or 8. That means you are already modest user. Look at band 4. Limited user. Basic competence is limited to only very familiar situations. Has frequent problems in understanding expression. Is not able to use complex language. But what I saw was already good complex language. Modest user. So I think he actually, to differentiate now the what you are at band 5 or band 6. Modest user. Partial command of the language, coping with overall meaning in most situations, though it's likely to make many mistakes. So the writing that you did for me first day would be in this modest user. Still and correct, that would be modest user. Should be able to handle basic communication in own field. So band 6, competent user. This is what all the universities in UK want. You have to get band 6 and above. Generally effective command of the language despite some inaccuracies, inappropriacies and misunderstanding. Can use and understand fairly complex language, particularly in familiar situations. I am very confident of what I had seen in your writing yesterday was already at band 6, competent user. Yeah, I know that already. Okay. So band 7, see how to move from there to a good user. Has operational command of the language, though with occasional inaccuracies, inaccuracies and misunderstandings in some situations. Generally handles complex language well and understands detailed reasoning. So this is what we want. 6, 7, 8, 9. How to move to band 8. Very good user. That means no mistakes. No mistakes. Very good user. Okay. Probably getting a 9 in your essay would be very good user. Okay? Fully operational command of the language, occasional unsystematic inaccuracies and inappropriacies. Misunderstandings may occur in unfamiliar situations, handles complex, detailed argumentation well. So learn how to argue in the second task. So that moves you to band 8, band 9. So yeah, expert in everything. Expert in speaking, expert in listening, expert in writing, and expert also in reading. Vocabulary command is also very high. So that is the IELTS band score. Okay. So this one, look at the next page. So why your look at the writing, okay, exam composition, 4 sections. Look at that, reading, 3 texts. Okay. Small tasks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tasks, and then you get questions. Then look at this, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So part 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, right. So speaking, for instance, that we do. Look at that. Your speaking task, and then writing. I have to prepare you academic writing and then general training writing. So that writing task 1 and task 2. What I'm doing, reading with you, I'm actually giving you, remember the true false question, okay, and then vocabulary, and then the title, the general reading comprehension on any subject. So I think you can handle reading with confidence. What you cannot handle is the writing section. Don't worry, you go shopping with a clear mind, because my worry is just your writing task 1 and task 2. You can handle reading. Okay, we will do more reading, we will do the vocabulary. I will train you a little bit more on you say true, false information and not given. Train you in that. Okay. Whatever test that we do, we will give. I haven't given you back your pre-test because I need to photocopy. Okay, before and after. So this is the where you were and where you move after 1 month of training. So we do a profile for each student before and after. Maybe when you did the pre-test, you were at band. I would say when you did the pre-test, you were at band 4. Okay? Then when you did the post-test, you went on, you moved to already band 6.
Above.
6 and above. Some can be band 7 already. Right? Whatever that you do in your proposal, always get your work checked. Always have a grammar check. Although maybe your supervisor, some will not check grammar, some will go very detailed. Some supervisor I've seen will read word per word and they correct you. That's what you want. So if they don't check, it's your responsibility to find somebody who can check. Okay? Not easy to get back. That's why when you want to do your PhD, it is actually this word. Want you to write this word down. Starts with a T. You need all the tenacity. TENACITY. Can you write that word down? You need all the tenacity. Vocabulary today. TENACITY. What is the meaning of tenacity? City. Tenacity. What is the meaning of tenacity? Yeah. You need learn this vocabulary today. Google. What is the meaning of tenacity? How are we going to remember tenacity? You you need the tenacity. Go home tonight and think about this word. Do I have the tenacity? And if I don't have the tenacity, what do I have to do to possess tenacity?
Mental resistance.
Yes.
Strong.
So,
Endurance.
yes, tenacity means
Tenacity.
okay,
Tenacity.
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 So
Tenacity.
the quality of being very determined. Three things: quality of being very determined, quality of being persistent, quality of being able to grip something firmly. So, keyword there, perseverance. Have you heard of this word, perseverance? How to spell perseverance? P-E-R-S-E. Yeah, P-E-R-A-N-C. What's the meaning of perseverance? That means whatever happens, stay with it, push it. Yeah, persistence, determination. Okay. What else? You are firm, you are patient, the staying power. Tenacity actually means this. It means staying power. That is the tenacity. Do you have the tenacity within you? Okay, to carry on. Have the tenacity.
Different with reliability.
Not reliability, this is tenacity. Different with reliability. Do you have the tenacity? That means, do you have the strength? Do you have the patience? Do you have the determination? Okay. Sometimes it is the experiences in our lives that actually makes you want to do a PhD. My husband did his PhD, as I told you, in 7 years, but he has the tenacity. Okay, persevered. Change supervisor. He had the change of supervisor. The first supervisor for 4 years, then change supervisor. That supervisor was so busy. He became Malaysian MSD officer, Malaysian student officer. He got a post. He was also very ambitious. He got a post in London. So change supervisor. Second supervisor was another supervisor. So I think that supervisor was very helpful. My job was to give him the confidence. You can do it. I told him, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. You tell him, where are you? And every time he comes in, I say, how is it going on? They say he didn't do anything this week. I say, no, just sit down. Do it. Don't worry about the family. I will take care of everybody. I will take care of everything. That's why you have to have a very strong partner. But never neglect your partner. Also always ask. Yeah, don't make them feel neglected. So do you have the tenacity? Always remember that word. How to remember? Tenacity means what? What? Tenacity means staying power. Everything.
Tennis.
Ah,
Tennis. We must
yeah.
have very powerful.
Very strong. If you're not strong, you can't play tennis.
Yes.
When you play badminton, you will be very strong. You will be very sharp. Right? I wish you could play with. You have to smash and you have to keep high. You cannot do a smash.
Can you smash? Jump
Can.
smash. Jump smash.
I cannot jump, but I have a very powerful right hand. Okay? So you must have the tenacity. Cannot. Let's say today I want to play against this person. Today only I practice, one time practice. No, I have to be consistent. I have a tournament, ladies tournament, every year I participate. So every week I play at least twice. Cannot be that I'm going to do the tournament 2 months before that. Okay, I practice. No way, you're not going to win. You're going to be so afraid. You have to stay in power. Do Do you have the tenacity to do whatever it takes to complete the job? Yes, we have the tenacity. Good, that one. Staying power. To me, actually, a PhD is not so much of quality of being intelligent, but it is more of the quality of effort.
Yes,
It's more of effort.
I agree.
You don't have the effort, okay? Staying
We
power.
cannot
Inshallah.
We already have a very powerful intense
Yeah.
to get the PhD.
That's why you cross from one country to another. That is
Yeah.
extraordinary. Yeah. Okay, you cross. To discover what the new country is all about is not easy. You're not here just for tourism purposes. You are here for purpose. But I believe so. Ari Institute is a very strong under the guidance of Dr. Norma. She is professor. When she delivered her professorial lecture, you know, every professor in every university, you want to be a professor, you must give a professorial lecture. Professorial lecture is for them to move from, they are at BK6, they want to move to BK7, they have to give a professorial lecture. I have seen Professor Nurma when she gave her professorial lecture at that hall, they want to demand a hall. The hall was so full, so packed. People from all over came to listen. Some professorial lecture only graduate student 100, 200, but I believe when she gave her professorial lecture, it was more than 1,000. The topic was so interesting. So that means actually influence in the field of forensic accounting
Yes.
is
Yes.
strong, very well
Very
known.
smart.
Very well done. And look at her, wow. I don't have that.
And the deliverable is very, I think, the audience easy, very easy to get.
The topic also was so interesting. Forensic. I went in and I listened. Not my field, but sometimes you go in, you want to see what exposition is all about. So I believe so. She's in the right position to actually supervise. I am sure she will make sure that all her supervisors work. Also, rezeki, we say it's a rezeki. Don't worry. You are tired today, never mind, no problem. Read the newspaper and refresh your minds. Work out.
Okay.
Okay. I'm waiting for Mona Lisa also to come in. She said she wants to come in.
Oh.
Maybe I can talk to 5 minutes. Okay.
Now, last day in that
Oh,
can join again.
You're going back tomorrow? When are you going back? 5th February. 5th February, Sunday. This coming Sunday. No.
Sunday. Monday.
In English.
Monday.
No, Monday.
Monday.
5th February is Monday. 5th February is Monday. How long have you been stayed in Malaysia? How long have you stayed in Malaysia? How many days?
From
What day to
From
what
what
day?
day?
How many days? 2 weeks? Did you stay for 2 weeks? How long did you stay? How long? 1 week. Oh, 1 week, very short. Why 1 week? Only you should have stayed for 1 month. Very short. 1 week is very short. Are you coming back again? No. Why not?
Still at
You need to go back to university.
university setelah semester 4.
Oh.
Yes.
Come back. Okay. Okay, find me. Okay?
We also find us.
You are still around. Inshallah, if you have the we should be around. Okay?
Inshallah.
Don't meet this man.
Don't worry. My family.
So go back
Don't
and
meet this
study
man.
hard,
Dangerous.
work hard. Okay? Go back, study hard and work hard.
And find your other hand. Is the first thing is the religion is good. The second is handsome. The third is
Oh. You have a boyfriend already? No. How old are you? What is your age right now? How old are you? How old are you? 19. So young. 19 for us is very young. 19. So at what age do you plan to get married? 21. 2 more years.
Yeah.
Hah? Di mana cowoknya?
Where's
no.
No boyfriend.
Think about handsome only.
Huh?
Think about handsome only.
Think about handsome.
Yeah.
Fine, as
Without
you
rich.
said, religious.
Religious
Religious, rich.
So now
like what?
No,
You
rich.
find somebody who is rich, you are gone.
No, rich.
Come back and visit. Make sure you come back. Come back and visit. So flight on Monday. Morning, afternoon, night time? Morning. At what time? 6 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah.
RSS.
KLIA 2 prime time because people fly up in the morning, tickets are much more cheaper. So 6 a.m. to 7, 5 to 7, peak time.
AM.
AM.
6
6 a.m. That's why she